Hello student. In the previous video we have discussed about the shapes of cell and the sizes of cell, and as I said you, in my next video we are going to talk about the cell membrane or the plasma membrane, cytoplasm and the nucleus. So let us start our explanation. So first we'll start with the cell membrane. Number one, cell membrane. It is also called the plasma membrane. As I've said you can also call it as a plasma membrane. It forms the outer boundary of the cell. The cell membrane or the plasma membrane, it is the outer boundary of the cell. Number three, it gives shape and size to the cell. Because of the cell membrane, there is a definite shape and size of the cell. Number four, it allows only certain selected substance to enter or leave the cell. Number four, it allows only certain selected substance to enter or leave the cell. Which substances will be allowed to enter inside the cell? Only those substances which are required by the cell. It will only be allowed to enter inside the cell, and those substances which are harmful, it will not be allowed to enter inside the cell, and the waste materials also will be exit from the cell. The next point is it separates cell from one another, also from the surrounding medium. A cell membrane will separate that particular cell from its surrounding cell. Okay, and because of the cell membrane there are different cells, and one cell is separated from its surrounding. In addition to cell membrane, the plant's cells and bacteria have an outer wall called the cell wall. In addition to cell membrane, the plant cells, they contain an additional layer or additional outer covering, that is the cell wall. The cell wall is absent in animals. It is only present in plants and certain bacteria. The next comes the cytoplasm. What is the cytoplasm? It is a thick jelly-like fluid inside the cell membrane. It occupies, so this cytoplasm is a jelly-like fluid present inside the cell membrane. When you observe a cell under a microscope, you will find a jelly-like substance inside the cell. So that jelly-like substance is the cytoplasm. It occupies the space between the cell. Inside the cell, whatever spaces are there, it is covered by the cytoplasm only. It occupies the space between the cell membrane and the nucleus, and in that cytoplasm you will find a black dot structure called the nucleus. We call that structure as the nucleus. It will float on that particular cytoplasm. Then next comes all the life functions takes place in the cytoplasm. All the life functions take place in the cytoplasm because the cell materials, all those cell materials are present in the cytoplasm only. There are so many cytoplasmic body in cytoplasm. That means there are so many materials inside the cytoplasm. These are called as the cell organelles, all the cell materials. We call those cytoplasmic body, or we call those materials as the cell organelles. All organelles in the cytoplasm play an active role in the functioning of the cell. All the organelles which are present inside the cell, they have a specific function to perform. Okay, then the next one is the nucleus. Nucleus is the dense oval shaped structure and bounded with double layered membrane that contains genetic material and is present in the eukaryotic cell but not well defined in the prokaryotic cell. What is this nucleus? It is a dense oval shaped structure. Okay, it is bounded with, that means the nucleus has a double layer membrane which is called as the nuclear membrane. Okay, that contains the genetic material. Inside the nucleus we have the genetic material. What is this genetic material? Let me explain it to you in short. This genetic material, it inherits or it stores all the information of a particular individual, and it is so, and this double layered membrane, that is this nuclear membrane, is present only in the eukaryotic cell, but it is not well defined in the prokaryotic cell. Okay, who are these prokaryotes and who are these eukaryotes? Prokaryotes are the microorganisms. Okay, especially a virus is an example of a prokaryotic organism. Okay, it will contain a prokaryotic cell. A prokaryotic cell is completely unspecialized. Okay, it is not at all well defined, but eukaryotic cell, we are an example of eukaryotic organism. Eukaryotic cell is completely well defined. The nucleus present in a prokaryotic cell will not have a nuclear membrane, but in a eukaryotic cell there are nuclear membrane. There is a nuclear membrane, sorry. So the nucleus consists of the following four parts. Number one is nuclear membrane. It surrounds the nucleus. It controls and allows the passage of certain material in and out of the cell. The nucleus consists of the following four parts. The first one is the nuclear membrane. It surrounds the nucleus. It controls and allows the passage of certain material in and out of the cell. This nuclear membrane, it controls and exit. Okay, it controls and allows the passage of certain, it allows only the specific material to enter inside the nucleus. Okay, then the next one comes is the nucleoplasm. The nucleoplasm is a dense fluid in the nucleus. That is the dense fluid which is present in the nucleus is called as the nucleoplasm. Then the next comes nucleolus. It is a spherical body present inside the nucleus. Nucleolus, it is a spherical body which is present inside the nucleus. It contains RNA. It contains ribonucleic acid. Then the fourth one is the chromosomes. These are thread-like structures which is composed of DNA. The chromosomes, these are the thread-like structures which is composed of DNA. DNA's full form is deoxyribonucleic acid. Inside this DNA, this contain basic hereditary units called genes. Inside this DNA, you will find some functional units which are called as genes. And these genes are responsible for passing genetic characteristics from parent to the offsprings. And these genes, they store the information essential, that is they store the genetic information, and these genetic informations are passed from the parent to the offsprings. So what are the functions of the nucleus? The nucleus, it helps in the transmission of hereditary characteristics from generation to generation. Its work is to pass the information from one generation to another generation, okay, from parent to the offspring, etc. Next one, it controls all the life functions taking place inside the cell. That means whatever functions the cell is performing, it controls all the life functions taking place inside the cell. And the next one is, so this is the image of the cell organelle. You can just see the cell organelle here. So this is an example of a cell. You can just see these are the names of some of the cell organelle: lysosomes, Golgi vesicles, that is Golgi body, rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, cell membrane, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, nucleolus, nucleus, centriole, microtubule, cytoplasm, ribosome. These all are the cell organelles which are present inside the cell. Cytoplasm, it is the fluid content which is present inside the cell. Then let us start with this mitochondria. Mitochondria, it produces energy from food during respiration. Mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of cell. That is why mitochondria are called as the powerhouse of cell. Whatever activity the cell is to perform, it gets energy from this mitochondria only in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Both animals and plant cell contains mitochondria. All the activities which are being performed inside the cell, they get energy from this mitochondria, and because of that reason only, mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of cell. The next comes endoplasmic reticulum. It helps in transport of substances within the cell. This endoplasmic reticulum, it acts as a transport system. It helps in the transport of essential substance within the cell. The next comes ribosomes. Ribosomes helps in manufacturing protein. That's why it is written it helps in protein synthesis. Ribosomes are found both in the plant and animal cells. Where are these ribosomes found? They are found in the plant. They are found both in plant cells and animal cells. So today we will be discussing up to this much only. In the next day, I'm going to discuss about some of the other cell organelle, and I'm going to discuss about some of the organisms, some of the unicellular organisms and their activities. Thank you.